heard, I represent Bethnal Green and Bow, which covers this part of the area, but also Stepney Green, Whitechapel, and I was bragging to Dr. Carney yesterday about the history and heritage of this area. This area has one of the most amazing heritage, both in political terms. You know, Clement Attlee started out in Toynbee Hall, which Dr. Carney is going to visit later on. He went on to become one of the most successful Labour Prime Ministers of the 20th century, starting up education, free at the point of delivery, National Health Service, and much else that we continue to benefit from. So we have a proud legacy in this area, and we have great heroes and heroines who went on to change the country. And this area also can boast the suffragette movement, which started from the Match Girls strikes in Bow, in the Bryant and May factory in Bow, which still stands. It's now apartments, but you know, the feminist legacy. We marked the 20th, the centenary last year of women's suffrage. The feminist legacy is very alive and strong. And of course, as someone who was taught by many feminists at Mulberry School, I was very lucky to have those opportunities to be reminded of how much was achieved and how much this area and the people in this area changed the country for the better. And so that is the legacy on which you stand. You stand on the shoulders of giants, and I know you're going to do amazing things as you go on through your education and into future careers. So I represent this area, and I campaign on a number of issues, of course, at the NHS to make sure it's properly funded, that schools are properly funded, and when you will go on to work, you'll probably, most people, at least in the current system, will have a boss. Well, as a Member of Parliament, I have 80,000 bosses. They're those people who are over 18, and when you go on to vote, you're going to be my boss too. So, you know, I hope that you'll continue to support me when you go on to decide who should be your Member of Parliament. But you are in charge. You decide who your Member of Parliament is. And if you decide to hire me one day when the election comes up, then you can, or you can fire me. And that is the beauty of our democracy. That's what's so important in our system, that politicians are accountable to the public. So I hope today you'll have the opportunity to quiz us later on. I grew up, as you've heard, in Bethnal Green. I came to this country when I was 7 years old with my family, and the first place we lived in was in Poplar, then in Wapping, and I went to primary schools there. And at the time, I couldn't speak many words of English, and it's a tribute really to my schools and my teachers that I was able to do the things that I went on to do. And my teachers, one of them's here, so I'm going to embarrass her. My teachers made me believe anything was possible. And that's what's so special about our schools in this area. That's what's so special about Mulberry and the Mulberry family. And one of those teachers, who taught me from the age of 11, I know she's cringing, she was my English literature teacher. She's still here, Jill Tuffy, and she was an absolute inspiration along with her colleagues. And I had so much support when I decided to go on to university and apply to Oxford University. And at the time, not many girls were leaving home and going on to university. So I hope that you will go to any university that you want to, and that you will get the kind of support, I know you will, that I did when I decided to go on to university and to apply to Oxford. There were some people who said, it's really elitist, you're not going to be accepted there. And I said, well, that's tough. I'm going to go and change it. Still got a long way to go, Oxford, to change. But if you don't go and join those institutions, they're not going to change. And when I decided to stand for Parliament, after having worked in the Foreign and Commonwealth Office and in community organisations here in the East End, as well as the Home Office, there were people who said, you can't stand for Parliament. The men aren't going to support you. You're too young. Someone like you has never gone into Parliament. There isn't anyone of your background in Parliament. What makes you think you're going to get in? And my answer to them was, why not? So please remember, when people tell you you can't do something, ask them why not, and usually they don't have a very good answer. And of course, they couldn't have been more wrong, because I did have support. I had the support of men and women, and I was able to win in 2010. And that made me one of the first of 3 Muslim women to have ever got elected in our parliament, and others followed in subsequent elections. And I was the first person of British Bangladeshi heritage to have got elected in our parliament, followed by 2 others from other constituencies. Why am I telling you this? Not because I'm here to brag about what I've gone on to do, but because when I was your age, when I saw students, former students, come in to tell us what they were doing, I didn't think I could do those things. But it was the confidence and the support of my teachers, but other friends in school, who really encouraged me, and that support helped me get to where I want to get to. So my advice to you is work really hard. You can't get anywhere without working hard. And support each other, talk each other up, and really go for it. Don't let people tell you you can't get to where you want to and achieve your ambition to make a difference and make a positive difference to your community and your country. So today it is wonderful to have Dr. Carney, and I'm really delighted that he's made the time to see us. He hasn't got much to do at the moment, as you can imagine. I won't mention the B word. You'll all want to know about it later. But obviously he's preoccupied with a lot at the moment, as are others across our country, because of the decision to leave the European Union. So as you've heard, Dr. Carney is in charge of many things that affect our country. Primarily, he's in charge of the money. So there have been governors of the Bank of England since 1694, when the bank was founded, and the first one was a man called John Hublot, and he was a Huguenot. The Huguenots were French people who escaped France from persecution and settled here in the East End. So the first governor of the Bank of England was from a refugee family 350 years ago, who settled in London and became a British citizen. So if you look at the £10 note or a £20, or if you're feeling flush and you have a £50 note, you can see it says the Bank of England, and that piece of paper is guaranteed to be worth the amount it says by the governor, and that's Dr. Carney. And at the Bank of England, many of you you may not be aware, there are 400,000 bars of solid gold, worth over £100 billion. That's the wealth of our nation in gold bars. And I'll tell you a secret, every night Dr. Carney has got this great big key, and he has to go in, as part of the British tradition. He didn't know when he took the job, he has to go in and formally lock the door, so that people can't get to the gold, and make sure that, it doesn't get taken away. I'm joking. There are security guards to do things like that. He's going to tell you about the more serious work he does. But I don't often get to have a chance to make fun of him, because he's got this big serious job, and I have to be really serious in this Treasury Select Committee when we're at the opposite sides. And Dr. Carney is from Canada, and has studied in the UK and is now our governor. So he will be able to address your questions, and I know that some people describe him actually as the rock star of banking, it's actually very true, because as Ruth has said, he has a broad remit, but also he has an interest beyond what happens in our economy, in climate change and many other areas that you will care about, I know, because many of you have campaigned on those issues. So I hope in this room we have many people who will go on to work in the Bank of England, and I hope some of you will consider becoming members of Parliament. Can I have a show of hands on who would like to be a member of Parliament? Who would like my job? Because one day I'm going to have to retire. Got somebody in the back, a few others. Anyone for Prime Minister? Come on. Yeah, you see, we need a different Prime Minister. hands. I know by the time he finishes his speech, I'll see a bigger show of hands for his job. But for the time being, he is our governor, and we're really delighted to have him. And it's a great honour to work with Dr. Carney. And you know, I'm so glad that you've made the time to come and see us. Dr. Carney, over to you.